backward Nigeria system in Nigeria, even though evidently the only group of ethnic homophobia. Somebody once said, yeah, in Nigeria, even though evidently the only group of ethnic group that have shown that they actually believe in Nigeria more than any other ethnic nationality in that contraption, either tribe or ethnic, has been the Igbos only. There have been those who have confidently, religiously invested in other parts of Nigeria than their own region. You have more Igbo businessmen outside Igbo land. This could be by the systemic design that intentionally underdeveloped the region, diverted what should have been evenly distributed development across the entire country, denying them their own seaports. Officially, I know some will be like, I've heard some ignorant people who have said, hey, is it the federal government that stops you from having your own seaport? Is it the federal government that stops you from and all of that stuff? This is out of a total shared ignorance. There is an unwritten Cold War that the system, the corrupt, divisive, backward Nigeria system has continued to maintain. If I say some things now, some of you out of shock will be like, really? Are you sure? I am very sure. Would you believe it that there is no single federal government completed project in the entire eastern part of Nigeria since 1960? I used 1960 because that's when you started, Abi. Then maybe you should fast forward to 1970 then. There is an intentional sort of state, that's what they call it, Nigeria have one problem, and that problem is Igbo problem. So, Ikenga, Ugo, Chinyere, I love to call him Ikenga, again, spotted this in his recent presser. But before I get to that, let me repeat that again. As much as the Igbos have always been clamoring for a referendum of leaving Nigeria, they have been peacefully demanding for that. The Nigeria criminal system criminalized self-determination. They went on to kill thousands of them. This is a recent history. They went on to kill thousands of them in order to scare others away. They continue to threaten them because a lot of those who carried out the genocide called the Civil War in Nigeria between 1967 and 1970, majority of them got compensated. They were never tried for their crimes against humanity. A lot of them went on to become head of states, ministers of this. Some even went on to become military governors inside that contraption. They got away with it. Therefore, there was never a real reconciliation or closure. And every little thing, the Igbos will be threatened. You want us to kind of deal with you again, or we will deal with you again. If like say you never learned your lesson, it has always been a recurring one. But it's only the Igbos who have shown, if you have to put everybody on the pedestal, who have shown that they've actually put behind the evil genocidal war. They've invested trillions of your money, naira, outside their region. But the marginalization continues until a young man who is kind of no longer, it's not growing younger, named Nnamdi Kanu, decided to begin to raise the subconsciousness of the Igbos and what they stand to lose if Nigeria should come back for them again. Because Nigeria, that has the Igbo problem, has not healed. Nigerians haven't healed from the what they call the inconclusive, or like the genocide that was probably not concluded at the time. The likes of Boko Haram came back to repeat that they would love to shed more blood if the Igbos are not careful. And this means the likes of Nnamdi Kanu was considered a dangerous person because he has been able to remind the Igbos what and their place in Nigeria, even as many of them continue to live in denial. But there is a Cold War where they continue to be the target of the system. Some have learned to live, to live with that, because to them, it's probably nothing they can do. When we were growing up, there's this popular sort of narrative, right? It's saying, though, Nigeria is Wa, Zo, and Bia, meaning the three major ethnic nationalities in Nigeria are the Yorubas, the Hausas, and the Igbos. But a lot of that has changed over time, or they try to change a lot of that over time. So you have the Yorubas, the Hausas, which have now turned to probably like Fulanis now, all right? So the Hausas and the Yorubas, in Nigerian setting, they can lead Nigeria. In fact, they have been leading Nigeria. So wherever Nigeria is today, you can give the credit, wherever the destructive set of where Nigeria is today, you can give that credit to the Yorubas, the Hausas, the Fulanis. But the third part should have been the Igbos. But children have been raised, especially in northern part of Nigeria and the western part of Nigeria, that the Igbos cannot be trusted with power. They have to build bridges. So a young man rose and reminded everybody in Igbo land that they actually deserve better. Okay? You don't have to beg. You do not have to lick asses just because you want to be counted among in Nigeria. The Biafran struggle is an unfinished one, since there was never a closure. Those who massacred their women, children, they ended up being like rewarded. And to this day, they are still willing to do more. In fact, they are doing same thing. So why don't you just let's leave this contraption? You are never going to be accepted per se. Of course, you can continue to play the third fiddle, continue to be third-class citizens in a union that was supposed to be everybody's of equal rights. You know that's not true. It is not true that the Igbos have the equal rights like everyone else in Nigeria. Those who destroyed Nigeria have not been held responsible for the destruction, but those who have never been part of it are held in high expectation that they have to do more. So it now became as if to say the Igbos are begging to be accepted in a union that was supposed to be of equal representation, equal rights, equal privileges. So Nnamdi Kanu appealed to the mind and the heart of the young Igbos and old alike, that the marginalization of the Igbos in Nigeria became so obvious that you can't hide it. They couldn't hide it. So he became an household name himself, where he kept pushing that all the Igbos want from Nigeria is a referendum. That those who still want to be part of Nigeria, they are free to be. And those who don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore, they should be given a voice to actually express it. So that the Igbos won't be in competition with you anymore, since they are never going to get the equal are right in this union. You know, it's supposed to be a union, right, where everyone kind of have the equal rights. But there is this unwritten code where the Igbos, especially, the people from the eastern part of Nigeria, are continually, right, discriminated against. They cannot be trusted with power. It's there. They have to do more than the Fulanis that destroyed Nigeria, than the Yorubas that collaborated with them to destroy Nigeria. I'm saying this because that's a fact. All right? So the Igbos are expected to build bridges, to be trusted, simply because of that genocidal war. Nnamdi Kanu, therefore, was arrested, or sorry, kidnapped, were arrested and kidnapped for treason. He's been charged for trying to break up Nigeria. Not just that, he was also charged, he was being charged as well for trying to overthrow Bokwari. But no evidence of that. He has been, he was illegally, extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya 4 years ago. And no single trial has been allowed in their own courts. So, Ikenga, yesterday, who was having a bit of reaction, or kind of a reaction, to the recent development where northern children were kidnapped by Tinubu and his gang for demanding for a better country, for demanding for good governance, in a protest that was tagged "End Bad Governance." So it became an uproar. Yeah, the whole world reacted. How could you lock minors up for months for demanding for a better country? So it became a national embarrassment that as quick as possible, they said Tinubu ordered them released. Wow. So Ikenga picked on that and said, what exactly is the crime of the Igbos in Nigeria that a man that was taken to court, your court, defeated you in your own court, that said he should be let go, you should release him. And then they are finding it so difficult to let him go up to this moment. So Ikenga is a guy that is going to open the conversation for us this evening. We shall start from that. Dear brethren, here we go.
I will commend the president for, it takes a lot for a leader to realize that he has made a mistake and then immediately correct it. So I'm so happy that the president realized that that was a huge national embarrassment, if not international embarrassment, and then moved in to correct it immediately. Even why some hanger on were even trying to justify it for him. This is, you can see why at times leaders, get into this part of shame at times, because we have some supporters who are very shameless. But I thank God that he didn't listen to those, hungry, people I call hungry outlaws who were trying to justify something that was an international embarrassment. So I commend the president for being bold enough to, issue the necessary knowledge and the court striking it out, bringing an end to that embarrassment. And I don't want it to just end there. I think he needs to find out, because those children were starved. So what kind of barbaric and archaic and mundane method of detention? And that goes a long way to show a lot might be going wrong with those detention facilities. It's also important an investigation is conducted to find out the status of these detainees facing different charges. It's like a kind of is it a confiscation site or what? You don't feed them. Look at the way they are looking so tiny, like they are coming out from a civil war or something. So it's an embarrassment, and it goes a long way to show how our detention system have been working. So it should be seen as an opportunity to fix things and correct things. And I thank the president for being bold enough to say that what happened was not right, and then going ahead to ensure that immediately these children were released. But going, apart from that, we should also investigate the status of other detainees in different cases and challenges in those detention facilities to be sure that we are complying with international African Charter on Human Rights and our relevant constitutional provision that an accused is deemed innocent until proven guilty. So you can't use starvation to kill the person even before he's made to have his day in court. And I think I will join to this by also pleading with the president the same way he reacted and responded to the feeling of Nigerians and the international community by discontinuing the embarrassing trial of these minors. He should also listen to the pleas from eminent Nigerians, eminent Igbo leaders, eminent individuals in different parts of the country, lawmakers and so on and so forth, who has at one time or the other called on the president to embark on the path of political solution in the Nnamdi Kanu case by discontinuing the trial. So you can see by what the president did in the minors case, he has exercised his constitutional power through the Attorney General under Section 174 thereabout to discontinue any criminal trial, even treason that has a murder charge at any stage of that trial. So now that you have invoked it for this case that we are charged for treason, also invoke that the same Section 174 thereabout in the case of Maiyegun by discontinuing the trial. The trial has brought, so it has prolonged the return to the path of peace in the East. It has cost the East so much, it has even cost the country so much. There is so of insecurity, there is loss of life, there is killing, there is destruction going on left, right, and center with accusation and counter-accusation surrounding it. What a listening president will do is to say, okay, let's find a political solution, and which is to discontinue the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, release him on bail, and then embark on the path for finding sustainable solutions to those security challenges. Remember, under Section 14, the primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and property. So why do we have government? If government cannot protect lives and property, if government cannot listen to the people, if government cannot do things that can bring stability, then it's not government. So what I'm saying in effect is that this is a government, and they should live up to their responsibility by listening to what the people are asking for. When we had challenges in Niger Delta, when the bombing of oil pipeline, kidnapping of oil workers, killing of oil workers, there's a lot of atrocities that was happening then, whether right or wrong. But government, because they know their responsibility, their economic responsibility and their welfare responsibility, embarked on a peace-building effort that led to the resolution of the Niger Delta crisis, that led to the issue of Niger Delta Ministry, different agencies that were put in place, amnesty and so on and so forth, all aimed at finding lasting solution. Even the security and pipeline contract was also given to Niger Delta people, and a lot of incentives that was given to Niger Delta people, and peace returned. And then when you had challenges in North Central, Buhari government was tinkering around grazing route, farm settlement, and all sorts of things, even though some of them people didn't find it funny. Those one that has to do with taking away people's land, because they believe that some of the businesses that are leading to this conflict are private businesses, so they should be handled the same way private businesses are being. But government still went extra mile for that to say, okay, let's see how we can help them as Nigerians to be able to do their business in a way that it is less criminal and so on and so forth. So government did that. Even as bad as Boko Haram issue that has to do with somebody waking up because of whatever belief, killing people, beheading people, that is a heinous crime, bigger than even treason. But still, government went on negotiations at different times. Government went on rehabilitation. Imagine rehabilitating a murderer that enjoys beheading. But government still was doing it because government wants lasting and sustainable solution. Now, issues that were, triggered by injustice and unfair treatment and exclusion and so on and so forth, leads to this agitation in the East. Up till now, the federal government has not sit down on the table to discuss with Southeast leaders and Southeast youth. This even goes a long way to show that they don't care about what happens to the East. They don't care about us. They don't care whether we'll survive. They don't care whether we are dying or whether we're killing ourselves. In a country that today, whether you like it or not, we are the biggest investors outside our region.
We'll come back to that, Ikenga. Just like I said it, no matter which side of the pendulum you probably belong, I am not saying that there are not many of you, including those who are Igbos themselves, that would prefer that Nnamdi Kanu is locked away forever, especially their elites and some ignorant Igbos who probably don't live in Igbo land themselves. So them, whatever they said, or they are saying that Nnamdi Kanu did, and he probably did it. And whatever the propaganda has been, that they have been fed. But there are some other lines that we should not ignore. And that is the lines of their law, legality. Even if you want him killed, at least you have to kind of have something to justify that. And say, oh, it was because Nnamdi Kanu kidnapped people and he was holding guns, he was killing and shooting, he's a terrorist or that. At least you must have evidence of that. There was none. Their intention initially was that maybe he happened to be, they thought Nnamdi Kanu was just one of those noisemakers, attention seekers, or maybe people who are one of those who are looking for easy money. Until they found that his agitation is so valid, so legit, that it couldn't actually be bought. I think that is one of the reasons why it has become so impossible for them to sit and have a real, like Ikenga put it, a real negotiation that would be like a road, pathway to peace. The other one is the Igbo problem that Nigeria have. The Igbos have the biggest and the highest contribution to the Nigerian economy than any other tribe or any other nationality in Nigeria. If you have to put all of their own investment in Nigeria, I'm using Nigeria now, because there's no part of Nigeria that you will not see the Igbos. And they are not there as scavengers. They are there as investors, small, big, medium, name it. They are there. These are supposed to be people that if they actually really hate Nigeria to start with, there will be more in their region and never anywhere in any other part of Nigeria, especially with what happened to them in 3 years of state-sponsored or country-sponsored genocide against them. That they were supposed, you see, in Nigeria, if you read Nigeria history very well, those who went on that campaign of genocide against the Igbos, if you read your history very well, they did this mostly from the position of a vendetta, position of a like institutionalized hatred. Because if it was just about we want this, you can have it, or you can go to hell with it or stuff like that. There was no reason for any sort of killings to start with. But the whole intention was let's destroy them as much as possible. But they're like indestructible. So this were supposed to be the people that should never, ever be found in any part of Nigeria. They can be found in other part of Africa because they are the most traveled group from Nigeria, the most traveled ethnic group from Nigeria. And wherever you find them, it's always about investment, business, and what have you. The Yorubas don't go that far. We don't. We do travel. We are probably the second most traveled people as well. You'll find us almost everywhere too, but not like the Igbos. So, the political class in Nigeria, especially the Igbo elites themselves, who have always been the people I kind of refer to as the house niggers of Nigeria. Majority of them have, over the years, they have fought and warmed themselves into the hearts of some of these non-Igbos in Nigeria. And some of them have denied their Igbo loyalty, so to say. They love being Igbos, okay? But when it comes to the Igbo marginalization, they are always mute, deaf and dumb as well, intentionally. Some of them have all it takes, right, to give Igbos respect that the Igbos deserves in Nigeria. But they would rather protect whatever Nigeria has managed to kind of allow them to have and keep. You know, I consider them the Igbo elite. I consider them as the set of people that work so hard to make everything, to get to where they are today. But somehow, they still feel like without the benevolence of their Yoruba friends, their Hausa friends, who actually hold the levers of power in Nigeria, they will not be where they are. That's the way I see them. They do not have, with the level of wealth that is ascribed to the Igbo race, the Igbo elite, you will never believe that they will be among those that will be so quiet in the face of so much disrespect, marginalization, against their own tribes, against their own race, inside that contraption. They are friends of all these powerful, supposed powerful non-Igbos in Nigeria. And whatever it is, they will be like, just mute and quiet. Yorubas are, when you see the Yoruba elites, right? They are very much loud. And sometimes, right, they are pretty much so entitled as well. They don't even have to be as rich as some of these Igbo elites. But you won't see any Igbo elite, Igbo billionaire, Igbo multimillionaire in any way stand up to some of these bullies from outside the Igbo land. So if you are, for any reason, decided, like Nnamdi Kanu did, to stand up to them, Nnamdi Kanu didn't even actually stand up to these guys in Nigeria. He only kind of, it was like a stopgap between the common Igbos, right? The Igbo elite, and then Nigeria. Which, as much as it earned him so much admiration and respect, it also earned him so much hatred and enmity. Most of this enmity comes from the Igbo elite, who feels like Nnamdi Kanu's action is a threat to what they have managed to secure from Nigeria. Some that, even though they are like these hardworking people, they still feel like Nnamdi Kanu's action threatens what Nigeria has allowed them to own. So they would rather keep quiet or even support his extermination. Let Ikenga continue.
Our region. How many of the regions have massive investment in other regions? That means the Igbo man is one that even believes in the sustainability of the Nigerian project. That is why he can invest in a zone or a land where he does not come from. So, but just ordinarily sit down and let's find a solution. Because the root cause is also rooted to these issues of exclusion. Injustice that have spanned for decades. And the more you are alienated, the more you tell the ones that are growing that you are not wanted. And that's why you see the result to all these crises that have brought instability. Now, instead of finding a way to calm nerves and restore it, you go about showing them, I don't care about you. So I'm using this as I'm commending the president for freeing discontinuing the treason charges against those kids. We're also begging him that exercise the same constitutional provision under section 174 thereabout, and let the Attorney General issue a knowledge and discontinue the trial of matters. And especially at the time that the judicial system has made conclusive pronouncement at different times, Federal High Court, different court, that this trial has no legal basis. At least in these cases there have been final pronouncement, but you're still fighting and must prove that he's guilty. That means hate. That means you hate the tribe. Because there's judgments of court that have said, release him. The invasion of his house was an attempt to assassinate and kill him. Everybody saw the day the people invaded. There was no cause for that. And the people were beheaded and killed and massacred in tens. And the man ran for his life. And he did not run away or jump there. He invaded somebody's house. Just like the time those murderers from my area in the name of politics, invaded to attempt to behead me and killed some of my family members. Didn't we flee? At the end of the day, when we were able to survive, are we going to, even if I was on bail, I should keep the head so that they can cut it off like ancient Greece. So the man have to run to survive. And then the extraordinary rendition is unknown to our law. It was a clear case of kidnap and abduction, which the court have also declared as illegal. So I've been sure there's even no trial. So why isn't Nnamdi still in detention? Because he's an Igbo man. That's why you have the same another traditional ruler that is kept in Lagos prison, that the Lagos State government is trying. Because he said, if you don't stop attacking our businesses, if you don't stop killing our people, we are going to bring help to defend our place. Instead of you dealing with the hate that your people are projecting there in Lagos, that is leading to killing of our people, burning of our businesses, because we are exercising our constitutional right to either vote or choose leaders. You went after the traditional ruler who spoke in defense of their people because they're an Igbo person. Other people in that same Lagos, both the traditional ruler has called for genocide against our people. None of them were charged. But he now said that if we don't stop burning this market that Igbo people are trading, if we don't stop throwing us into lagoon, if we don't stop attacking our people, that I will invite the ESN to come and defend the people in Lagos. That's what he said. And then all of a sudden, they dump him in court. They are prosecuting him, and they have dumped him in Kirikiri. That our traditional law is still in Kirikiri for almost 3 years now or more. They're not ready to prosecute him. Shawolu left him there because an Igbo man. So if we want to be one Nigeria, we should be honest and stop being stupid about the lies. In Igbo, they say, when you do this child, the way you're doing this other child, they will be happy. Are you doing us the same? You're not doing us the same way. Do we want to build a country, a nation, or are we running a geographical expression like our world was so said? If we want to build a nation, that even though the tongues and religion may differ, but in brotherhood we can still stand, then you have to behave like a family, like a brother. You resolve the Igbo issue. Don't pretend like you don't know it's existing. You will not have stability. Let us see ourselves as one honestly and root it on that principle of justice, equity, and fairness. If you know what if they do to you, not like, why are you doing it to an Igbo person? So it's on that ground that I'm asking the president that is long overdue. It's time to respect those judgments of the court and stop this judicial. The court freed him. You went again. You fight another. No, it's not necessary. We're looking for peace and stability. 70% of our people today will take Mr. President seriously when he talks about building a nation, uniting our people, bringing us together, making us to believe that he's about to renew hope, which includes justice. You have to renew my faith in the justice system, in the equity system, in the fairness system. That our people, 70% of our people believe that if President wants us to take him serious, he should first of all release Nnamdi Kanu and find a way to go to the table to find a permanent political solution to the challenges facing our people. Then we can take him serious. That's the way our people feel. Any of the Igbo leaders can come to Abuja and be lying to him. Those ones I call outlaws. They can be saying all sorts of nonsense. But down there in our place, they want this issue resolved. So that our people can now pick up what is left of their lives and move on. Our region. How many of the regions have massive investment in other regions?
Are you following this? Good. I have said it before that the problem that Nigeria have is called the Igbo problem. And to make it worse, a lot of you are always living in denial of it. If you have a union, and they said there are 3 largest ethnic groups in this union: the Hausas, the Yorubas, and the Igbos. Then one of the largest group in the union is ganged up against, but they can't complain. They can't talk about it. They are to be seen, never to be heard. An Igbo man will, the Igbos cannot fall into the category of those to be seen, never to be heard. A lot of you are alive, and you are still alive today, where it is mostly pronounced. You see, before now, let me say this, right? Before now, the people in charge of Nigeria, they did a very good job in hiding this Igbophobia from a lot of us. It only became more pronounced when APC, Egbekegbe, gained power in Nigeria. It's always been there. It's called Cold War, but it was never this pronounced. So when Nnamdi Kanu started talking about the marginalization, and he kept talking about this hatred against the Igbos, some people were like, they didn't believe it. I'm talking about those who are even Igbos themselves, who have suffered institutional marginalization in Nigeria. They didn't see it as a big deal. Any small thing, an Igbo man will tell you, well, I'm not interested in politics or leadership or anything. An Igbo man is interested in his business. He is only interested in his business. Then APC, Egbekegbe came in. They started targeting those businesses. They started making laws or pronouncements that continue to target those businesses. Then an Igbo people started paying attention, like, this never used to be like this. So they were doing everything. In APC, Egbekegbe, there are Igbos in APC, Egbekegbe. But they have always been put at the back burner. Yeah, they are inconsequential. But before then, apart from being president or anything, the Igbos have been sort of, they've been given a lot of bigger roles in this, what is called the nation building, to the point that it was so difficult to see the marginalization per se. When I say bigger role, right, responsibilities, this and that, despite the marginalization of development, like I said, when they are building rail lines or upgrading railways in other parts of Nigeria, Igbo land is never considered. When they are building highways, reconstructing highways across Nigeria, Igbo land was never considered. But people didn't really see it then, because those guys back then, they were able to hide it. That when Nnamdi Kanu started pointing out all of this, some of them didn't take him serious. In fact, some of those who later became Nnamdi Kanu's supporters and believers, they never liked him until APC Egbekegbe came. And they themselves started seeing the proper state-sponsored profiling against them, against their businesses. And they're like, oh, this thing actually exists. Oh, Nnamdi has been saying the truth, Sha. We need to rise. Oh, we need to stand up. We need to support him. APC, Egbekegbe, burnt every deception, all the deceits about one Nigeria. They burnt everything down, and it became so clear. Everybody got to see where they belong. But the coping mechanism of the Igbo elite, Igbo politicians, is unimaginable. It's unbelievable that they will rather just keep quiet. And in fact, some of them would rather milk it by becoming the house nigger for these rogues. Yeah, show them. Our people are troublemakers. It's true. We have been telling our people that they need to respect other people. Your people have been coexisting with everyone before APC Egbekegbe came. But suddenly, You started seeing Igbos agreeing with their own traducers. That it is true. Our people always, we are very loud. Once we make money, we'll be. What the heck? So we call those ones who are like enabling them. They are enabling is an institutionalized racism, institutionalized profiling against their own people. So Nnamdi Kanu they took him to their courts. He defeated them in their courts. He didn't get the support of the Igbo elite, but the Igbo common men and women. When I say I'm talking about like the ones who don't even have any closeness or leverages with political power. You know what I mean? They were able to see through what Nigeria has been doing to them. It became clearer. So what should we do? What can we do? We have to support Nnamdi. We need to bond together. We don't know how far these guys are going to go, but we need ourselves. We need each other. But we need one another. So there is so much division between the normal Igbos in the majority and their elites, the political class, to the point that when the Fulani terrorists invaded Igbo land, kidnapping the Igbos, collecting ransoms, killing them, the Igbo elites, the Igbo politicians, they were offering peace offering to the murderers, to the terrorists. But Nnamdi was like, no, you can't do that. You can't bow your head for these murderers. The more you bow your head, they will chop your head off. But the elite prefer that because it gives them power. They could hold on to power even if their land is being ravaged. I'm using this because this is the reality. This is the truth. The insecurity in the eastern part of Nigeria is politically sponsored. And Nigeria is like, you know what? Continue there. We'll rather just let you finish yourselves. Kind of. Because it serves the purpose. If the Igbos are indestructible, maybe we can just let them do it themselves and destroy themselves that way. The political class sponsoring this violence, in a way, they are happy that Nnamdi Kanu is out of the picture. So the federal government of Nigeria, who has this institutionalized racism against them, it's like, you know what? We can just add petrol to it for you. Let's send more military to that place, militarize the whole place, and continue to harass them, assault them, and possibly continue to make them disappear. The elite actually wanted it anyway. Just give a dog bad name to hang it. So this union is a fraud. The Igbos are not welcome in that union. It is so obvious. And that is why they would rather keep him as a trophy. I've said that many times. They are keeping him as a trophy to satisfy some group of murderers, terrorist sponsor in northern Nigeria. Buhari couldn't try him. He couldn't jail him. They just have to lock him up. But the Igbo billionaires who owns banks, who have shipping lines, who have a pharmaceutical companies, billionaires like that, including their billionaire politicians, oil moguls, they would rather not have anything to do or what have you with him. Because his message, his stand, is going to pit them against Nigeria. And to them, they are likely going to lose everything else they have acquired. So even if their people continue to be in that state-sponsored, bondage, it doesn't matter. Ikenga, finish what you are saying.
Because this issue is causing instability in our place. Farming activities is zero. Businesses are going down. Most people are no longer returning back. So resolving it starts with, okay, political solution, we'll give him bail. Then we'll go to the table and look at the issue. There's issues that led to those agitation. Those issues have been with us since 1960. Democratically, that's now also linked with so much hypocrisy and incompetency and so on and so forth. They were now flashing it in our face like we don't belong. It's not about Nnamdi Kanu. Even if we take out Nnamdi today, the other generation that is coming are also having the same feeling rooted in their heart. You still have another person rise up. So finding a solution to them, a permanent solution should be the concern of every genuine leader. Because for how long are you going to keep treating people like that and expect them to believe? In this era of technological advancement, social media and everything, information moves so fast. So you don't the way you can hide informations. People have opinions based on your actions. And coming from somebody who has fought the Deco days, democracy, inclusion, and so on and so forth, I'm just surprised that we're still having this conversation 1 year or going to 2 years in office. Just because of Abiola's election that was robbed. They floated the Deco, they fought. Some of them were charged for treason. There was bomb blast that time, remember? Even though there was accusation whether it was Abacha that was throwing the bomb or it was in the Deco people, Tinubu them were throwing it. There were the same transmitter Nnamdi Kanu was using. Fire meet them and Tinubu, we had their own transmitter, radio Kudra, radio this. They were transmitting into the airways. Because they said they wanted the mandate to be restored. Now these people are asking for justice, equity, and fairness. The same thing. So what to do? The Deco issue and the bill issue was resolved by compensating them with allowing them to run for the presidency by almost all the key stakeholders. Since that time, they have ruled almost 2 times now. But nobody cares about our own people. So how do you think the young people are feeling down there? They feel disconnected. They feel angry. In a country that they are working so hard for. All they are asking is for justice, equity, and fairness. That's what this selective application of democracy, selective application of the justice system, selective application of political opportunities, selective application of the electoral, everything that has to do with the East, the method is different. Even the way you mount roadblock in the East, like is an Afghanistan that America just left from. From just Asaba, you be coming from Abuja, 1 or 2 checkpoints. By the time you get to Asaba, you are trying to cross the river Niger. From that place to where you see 48 checkpoints. What are you doing there? Still, crime is still everywhere. It has turned into a collecting point for police or security agencies who are on those roads. Extorting the people, making them feel like you just want to annihilate them at all costs from all fronts. So these things are wrong. And like I said before, a true nationalist will focus and believe that equity, justice, and fairness is the fulcrum and the foundation for a united and peaceful country. Anybody that is talking about peaceful country without discussing the sacred core principles of justice, equity, and fairness is talking nonsense. You cannot have a united country, you cannot have a stable country without sitting down to address these core principles of justice, equity, and fairness. Not just by addressing it, but showing it in your body language and conduct. Today, you have a country that the Igbo man is not chief of army staff. The Igbo man is not IG. The Igbo man is not DG of DSS. The Igbo man is not customs CG. The Igbo man is not immigration head. The Igbo man is not central bank. The Igbo man is not finance minister. The Igbo man is not federal inland revenue. The Igbo man is not director of military intelligence. The Igbo man is not NSA. But still, they still believe. All they are asking is not even you should share those things with them, but restore peace in our place. Consider it a matter of national importance that peace will return to the East. We want you to make that a priority. That's all our people are asking for. And that we're not getting it up to now. So it's not that anybody hates anybody, no. The hand with which you extend, that's one we should receive. They are giving us bitter lemon every day. Look at the infrastructure in our place. Look at our major highways in the East. Look at our markets. Look at our energy situation. Look at the employment rate of our people in civil service. Look at the business opportunities available. Everything is self-help for our people. Business, building, everything. Even rehabilitation of our people that have been displaced since this crisis has started. Not even single one person. The Igbos are builders. The Igbos are nationalists. That is why they invest in every part of Nigeria. Just show them by your body language that though tongue, religion, everything will differ. But in this our brotherhood, we will rise, we are one.
But that is not going to happen, right? There's nothing that Nnamdi Kanu is doing that the likes of Tinubu didn't do. They went on to go and become governors and even presidents in that contraption. Tinubu once said that he didn't believe in Nigeria because it doesn't believe in that contraption. It's just a business center that everyone just wait for their own turn. There was no internet then, but they had the radio Kudirat in London, where they are transmitting from and transmitting into Nigeria. Talking about all the shit about Nigeria, talking about how Nigeria is this and that, and Yorubas must be ready to break away from Nigeria. The person who led that became the governor. He became minister. He became governor of Ekiti State. He became two-time minister in Nigeria. Kayode Fayemi. Tinubu that said he didn't believe in Nigeria. He became two-time governor. He is your president now. So if all these guys have said all the kind of things about Nigeria before, they should know better, shouldn't they? But because it is Nigeria, the real problem is Igbo problem. I have said this before. I am a Yoruba man, okay? And, you know, no matter what I say about that contraption, no matter what name I call that contraption, if I take off this shirt tomorrow, and I decided that, okay, I want to be the governor of Ogun State. If I join their clique of rogues and criminals, I can be governor of Ogun State. Yeah. Forget about everything I have said about the contraption. An Igbo man can be doing all the nicest things, all the best, you know what I mean? But being an Igbo man, an Igbo man who is a one Nigerianist, pro-Nigeria, saying all the nice, best things about Nigeria and all of that stuff, if I stand and they put that Igbo man next to me, I will say, okay, oh, I belong to the clique of these rogues, right? As a Yoruba man, I will get a free pass. That Igbo man will be dumped because it's an Igbo man. That is what the contraption is all about. It is a fake union that everyone knows is fake. But you just have to find your own space in it and continue to pretend that it is not. Those who claim to hate Nigeria, they are those who have had the chance of ruling Nigeria. Those who have publicly said it. The Babangida, Abacha, Muritala, who else again is there? Gowon, who else is there? Yeah, all these guys, even Bokwari, when they carried out their counter coup of 1966, they ran back to the north. They said they were going to declare their own republic, Araba Republic. Araba, we are breaking up. Araba, on Araba we stand. Before they told them that, don't try it, now go suffer. And then they nominated Gowon to come and be the head of the military, which then led Nigeria into a genocidal war. Read your history. These are people who don't believe in that contraption. Immediately they carried out their revenge coup, killed Igbo officers in different barracks in Nigeria, in Lagos. They marched them out and they killed them. They were expecting war from the east. They ran back to northern Nigeria. Quick. They left Lagos. They ran away. And they were about to declare, in fact, when Gowon was reading his military coup speech, a section of it showed that they were succeeding from Nigeria. They were breaking away from Nigeria, that they are not part of Nigeria anymore. They were dragged back in to come and destroy that contraption. The likes of Tinubu and Co in Nadeko, they were asking for the breakup of Nigeria. So what happened after? Look at them today. They are now pro-Nigeria. But look at what they are doing to Nigeria. It is not a balanced union. It is a fake union. And if you are an Igbo person that didn't know that probably didn't know that, you are probably dumber than what anybody can imagine. You are stupid and more than what you can. If you join them in condemning Nnamdi Kanu, you are dafty. That you don't know. You are a stupid person. Feeding fat on whatever propaganda they are feeding you. These are the people who actually hate Nigeria. They hate Nigeria more than all of you. They will tell you to hate on yourself, justify whatever we do against any of you and all of that, and you will believe them. It is a fake union. There's no one Nigeria. There are many Nigerias. That's what you have. You don't have one Nigeria. You have many Nigerias. I'll leave that. Okay. And we hope that somehow common sense, which is not common, will prevail. But to those who are saying that Nnamdi Kanu will rot there, don't worry. Let him rot there. What you are going to get is going to be, it's going to be worse than what you can imagine. For now, you may think those who are coming after Nnamdi Kanu are probably going to remain in Eastern Nigeria. No. A set of Igbo, a new Igbo sort of awakening is coming once you push this to the wall. You haven't pushed it to the wall yet. Nigeria hasn't pushed or pressed that destructive button yet. But there's going to be a new, I am projecting it now, prophesying it to you. There will be a new Igbo awakening. And that new Igbo awakening is going to capture Nigeria in the most unprecedented way. You are going to see the new Igbos, new Biafrans, that will actually now bring the war to our doorsteps. It's not going to be in the Eastern Nigeria. It's going to be actually fought in Northern Nigeria, in Western Nigeria, across length and breadth of Nigeria. It's not going to be what they are cooking in the Eastern Nigeria that is called unknown gunmen, unknown this and that, and other rubbish. There will be a new Igbo awakening that is no longer going to be about business or protecting the investment, this and that. No. All of that will suddenly just disappear. And once you begin to see the sign that all this Igbos for, right? Business here, business there, and all of that. Some of you are even threatening them. If they try nonsense, you will go after them. You will burn down their businesses. You will have no Igbo business to burn. You won't have any of their businesses to burn. They will burn down Nigeria. That awakening is coming. Remember that when they were carrying out the genocide in eastern part of Nigeria, the whole eastern region, some of you were doing Owambe in Lagos. You are getting married. You are doing your party left, right, and center. The northern part of Nigeria, everybody is having fun, marriage, and all of that, while they are shelling the people of eastern Nigeria. When the new Igbo awakening begins, it will be a direct war in those lands. And I don't know how to describe it to you, but don't worry. Just keep pushing, because there is a generation that is never going to be like their own ancestors. That generation will know that the only way the Nigeria will let the Igbos go is when they actually take the war to those of you who are enablers, ignoring what is really happening in the eastern part of Nigeria. The systemic profiling, institutionalized racism, right? Tribalism in that contraption. There is going to be a generation of theirs, all right? That is actually going to asymmetric. It's called asymmetric. Is that called asymmetric war? It won't be fought in eastern Nigeria. It will be fought outside Igbo land. I'm just saying it to you. I don't know. You don't have to believe me. But let these thoughtless, brainless maniacs, useless criminal leaders that you have, let them continue. Okay? Let them continue. If anything happens to Nnamdi Kanu, you will see a new Igbo awakening. And those of you who are the Igbo billionaires, elites in Lagos, in Abuja, who believes that your wealth is so safe and secured, it won't be. I'll leave it at that. They have what, today, their national grid collapsed again. Second time in 3 days. But there is an explanation for it. They said it is, they are carrying out, I don't know, like maintenance. Until they complete the maintenance, your national grid won't stop Dakudaji. Listen.
We need to test those equipment, particularly at the critical nodes. We start from there. And then we should develop framework and adopt reliability-centered maintenance, replacement of aged and obsolete equipment, and enhance SCADA and telecommunication tools, develop framework to attract private investment across the value chain, and deploy IoT device for generating units and transmission lines. There's need to also firm gas contracts, develop and implement measures to combat vandalization and energy theft.
And the recommendations are practical recommendations, realistic recommendations that are implementable and I believe will bring an end to this ugly trend. The issue of grid collapse should be a thing of the past.
All talk, no action. It's the same guy that said that they are building 1,000 megawatts of solar energy in each state of northern Nigeria. So they are expecting 19,000 megawatts of solar power. Penkelemes. I just read it somewhere now where they said that you will have 20 hours electricity. Nigerians will enjoy 20 hours electricity by 2027. 2027. Promise made, promise denied, you will say. It's all promises, all talks, no action. Evil-minded rogues, opportunists, chancers. But they also have their audience, the gullible ones. Just as one guy has been promising you that the Nigeria refineries will work by August, by December, but he didn't tell you the year. He did not. This same guy said the reason why you are likely not going to enjoy 24 hours electricity in that contraption is because all the equipments are now obsolete. That means they are now like old. So he said they needed, I think he said something about needing $250 billion for Nigeria to enjoy 24 hours electricity. They need investment of $250 billion. God damn it, man. It's Nigeria is irredeemable. These rogues. And the only simple solution is this. Let the states generate their own power and sell it. And anybody who can really, they kind of have a law that says you can generate electricity and sell. Oh. But in that same contraption, they also want you to generate and sell it to them, they say, so that they can now redistribute it and send it to northern Nigeria, where 90% of them don't pay electricity bill per se. Don't take it personal. It's true. Because most of the electricity itself that are directed, they are not directed at industrial areas where production is so much needed like yesterday. And you're driving through their villages and some of those places, you will be seeing light everywhere. And you're like, damn, this one is from, electricity generated from so place. They will transfer it thousands of kilometers or hundreds of kilometers away from the place you generated the electricity. Generate electricity in Ogun State, sell it to them in Ogun State. Generate electricity in Sokoto, sell it to them in Sokoto. If you generate electricity in Kebbi, sell it to the people of Kebbi. If you have any excess, sell it to the next state or nearby state. If you generate electricity in Lagos, sell it to them in the nearby state. That's how it should be. If you have any excess. But no, the quota system insists that the power still has to be transferred there to northern Nigeria to balance up. So you're never going to have that. You're never going to have stable electricity. You continue to have epileptic power supply where criminal politicians are making decisions that are mostly detrimental to anything called development, growth in any way. I have seen it many times. I have lived long enough to see that. Right? Going forward. In Abuja, remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the last week, it got reiterated where Wike said, if you are a beggar, leave Abuja, go back to your states. You are an embarrassment to us. More people have become poorer in Nigeria. Therefore, more people have resorted into begging for survival. Now it is a sin to be poor in the poorest, in the poverty capital of the world. No thanks to APC, Egbekegbe, that have dipped more Nigerians into poverty, depreciated their GDP, ran the economy aground, and then the poor people are being blamed for insecurity. So a lady, shared a video online today, and she said she escaped with a Wike's task force looking for beggars, especially if you have a job. I think it's getting those ones who are the northern beggars. The same beggars they always use for counter-protest in Abuja. If you decided to go and stage a protest in Abuja, they will go on and pack all these beggars. Even if you are there to go and protest against, for example, let us go and protest against what should I use as an example? Let's go and protest against the court order against the Rivers people. You go still see the beggars from Zamfara, Nasarawa, Sokoto, Kano, in their hijab. They will carry the placard. Leave Rivers State alone. Rivers State alone. We the people of Rivers State, we say no to Supreme, that stuff. Then you pay them 500 naira or 1,000 naira in some instances, right? So this lady shared her own experience in the hands of Wike's task force.
Wike people almost mistakenly packed me today. Oh, maybe I'm a beggar because I don't understand. I'm not a beggar, maybe because of the job that I put on. Oh. And I'm holding one, plastic like this. So if you are in Abuja, Wike people are packing people now. Oh. Beggars, they are packing beggars. So if you want, don't even wear a hijab or you mistakenly hold plastic. Wike people will pack you. I don't even know where he is packing them. Because I put on hijab and I hold one plastic like this. I want to give Almajiri, what's they call it? So I was like, there was. So if you're in Abuja, if you wear Alabama, baby, I love. Don't even do mistake and wear hijab out or you hold plastic. Wicked people will pack you. Oh Lord, no.
Zamfara straight, it's not packing them to put them in prison. They will pack them and then they will bust them and transfer them to far, far, far away, like Sokoto, like Kano, Borno. They will go and dump them somewhere. You'll soon be seeing videos of the people that are deported from Abuja. It is called deportation. But you know something? The next day, those people will find their way back to Abuja. Because they can't house them, they can't feed them, they can't put them in any facility to be feeding them. So the fire brigade approach is to pack them and drive them to far, 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 far away. And all those ones we do is to hop on another truck going to Abuja. And they'll be back in another 2 days or 3 days. I've seen that happen before. You know. I'm talking about Wirewike again. Remember that the Martins Abawule group that denied that they did not decamp to APC. Just for the record, right? That's why I want to share this with you again. Okay? They went to the corrupt judiciary of Nigeria, where they claimed that they did not decamp to APC. But they did. So what they initially thought was that if they decamp to APC, they will be majority. Then they can now proceed and impeach Fubara. That backfired. They were citing a section of their supposed constitution, okay, which said that if your political party is having problems, you can leave the party and go to another party. Unfortunately for them, PDP's crisis is not the type that will give them that leverage. So until they moved, and then realized, no, these guys announced their the campaign move on the floor of the State House of Assembly. And the record is online. Then they went on to celebrate their, in fact, with confidence. Let me show you part of it. That their speaker that is now crying today. Okay? Let me share first with you.
On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand. Dear Rivers people, great people of this country, I want to salute all of you. I want to first, let me begin by introducing to you those that are standing with me here. We have 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly that defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress APC. 27 of us. But standing with me here, one of us is indisposed on health grounds, so she's not here. But out of the 27 of us, apart from the one that is not here on head ground, 26 of us are here. Complete. Are you seeing that we are complete? We are complete here. Let me say something here. Some days ago, we defected inside the hallowed chamber of the Yorubas State House of Assembly in line with section 109 of the 1999 Constitution as altered. We made sure that we followed due process. We made sure that we did not do anything outside the provisions of the 1999 Constitution. The Constitution has given room for people to defect. That is why in section 109 subsection 1G, it allows serving legislators who want to defect to do so with a proviso that there is a division in the party upon which they rode to the House of Assembly. There is clearly a division in the PDP. So in line with that section, we defected to the All Progressive Congress. It's important I begin by making this remark because I've read in the social media, in the electronic and print media, people who don't like to read the Constitution, those who prefer to read analysis rather than reading the Constitution, saying that we did not meet constitutional requirements. Remember that the Constitution has also said that it is the Speaker who will give effect to section 109 subsection 1 of the Constitution. And by virtue of the provisions of the Constitution, members have the right and have exercised our rights because of the division in the PDP. I'll leave it to that. Another day, we will tell you more about all that is being referred to as the division in the PDP. We have all the particulars, the evidence which the Constitution referred to that should be produced. We have all of it, and it has been sent to the House of Assembly. It is now in our records. Anybody who wants to see it will provide all the records, all the evidence that shows that there's division in the PDP, which necessitated our defection to the All Progressive Congress. That said, let me also say something. Why did we choose APC far and above other parties? There are so many parties in this country. We could have gone to any other party. But we have a reason why we chose APC. We have a reason. A lot of you may be surprised because over time we have remained in our party. I have not been in any other party. Most of us have not been in any other party other than the PDP. But we made this strong decision. And that decision stems from what the leader of this party in this country has started, which is the renewed hope agenda. It is no mere talk. I'm not one who is given to unnecessary talk. I hardly praise people. But when I take my time to study a team, I take my decision and I have a reason for that. Members have sat down, we have analyzed. You will recall that some time ago, the leadership of the PDP, the leadership of this state, moved to Abuja to visit Mr. President. You will recall President. We were there at the executive chambers in Asoro, and we begged Mr. President. We said, Mr. President, the former president did not attend to the problems of the state. So we begged Mr. President, we have a problem. Look at the east-west road, the road leading to Ogoni. You know the road? Yes. From Eleme Junction straight down to Trailer Park. We begged Mr. President, the president that is not in our party, unlike the previous presidents, we begged him. President gave us his word and said, go back home, irrespective of your party. I may detribalize Nigeria, I'm the president of the country. That's what the president told us. Go home, I will do it. People of River State, has the president started fulfilling that promise? Yes! Go to the East-West Road, the road leading to Ogoni. Work is on go.
At least just a pressure to refresh your mind that these are a bunch of spineless, shameless humans. That video was presented in their courts in Nigeria. And according to their judge, Wirewike's judges, that is not enough to say they have decamped. So in the face of the law, Nigerian law, they did not decamp. I'm trying to put up that clip. Okay. It's a crazy stuff, by the way. Let me see, I think it's this one. They did not decamp. I'll let him finish what he's saying so that I can put up their latest ruling, just for the record.
We believe in no distant time that project will be completed, and access to the refinery, access to the Indorama, MPA, and to other places, the local government, Gokana, will be a smooth ride. That is a president that says a thing and he does it. And when Mr. President told us, don't worry, irrespective of the party that you are in another party, I will not treat your state as a state that is another party, because he became president, he has been given appointments to Rivers people, yes, irrespective of party. Yes. Irrespective of party. Mr. President, for the first time in the history of this country, somebody who is not from FCT, somebody who is not even from that part of the country, is now the FCT minister. Yes. He has given that appointment to tell Rivers people, to tell other parties that is a president for all. It is not only the appointment of the FCT minister, he has also given appointment to many others. As we speak, he has appointed Rufus Godwin into the Federal Civil Service Commission as the Commissioner, Federal Commissioner. He has appointed Chief Boma as Executive Finance NDDC. Yes, sir. He has appointed many others. He has appointed Henry Ogiri into the National Population Commission. All these people are not FPC members. He has appointed Ambassador Akao into the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Commission. And he kept even in Galale, who is the presidential spokesperson. These are just, and let him meet many others. President has shown that he is detribalized. So he makes the choice as to which party to go to. We considered what the president is doing. This is a president that means well. Let me inform you, we made investigations and we know that in the coming weeks, early next year, a lot will happen. And we believe that when we now have petroleum products being refined in this country, the prices of petroleum products will drop. Just watch and see. A lot of work is going on at the Politico refinery now. The Dangote refinery in no distant time will resume refining of petroleum products. I've just told you a few. I am not saying that all is well. I didn't say so. I didn't say that everything is well in the country. I didn't say so. But what we are saying is that the president has started well.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
That's Martins Emawile a few months back when they decamped to APC. When they now discovered that, we shouldn't have, they quickly rushed back to court. That the court should give them the sworn affidavit, okay, that they've decamped to APC. Because by so doing, Ubara declared their seat vacant. There's no crisis in PDP. So you shouldn't have done that too. Then they doubled down. And guess what happened? the judicial bandits, the criminals in charge of your judiciary in Nigeria. They ruled. That video is not evidence enough. The affidavit sworn to by these guys, they secretly withdrew that. And they gave it back to them. They sworn affidavit under oath that they've come to APC. They quickly took that back. And then they got ruled.
Chief Honorable Justice Omotosho had in January this year found and held that the House of Assembly led by Right Honorable Martin Amuwule was the authentic House of Assembly in Rivers State, and that Martin Amuwule is the authentic Speaker of the House of Assembly of Rivers State. And the court said he's bound by those judgments of his brother's judges, and he cannot at this time sit on appeal on those judgments. So that is the state of the law. So as far as we are concerned, the court has found that the matter lacks merit. And indeed, the court went further to say that the plaintiffs failed to prove and establish their case. Even the video recording that they tendered, they could not. They dumped it on the courts. They could not do what they were required by law to do. So that is the situation today. As far as the law is concerned, Martin Amuwule and his group are the authentic members of the House of Assembly, and Martin Amuwule remains the Speaker by the judgments of the court.
In the movie we saw, Act 1, Scene 1, we saw somebody, we don't know who he is. Scene 2, we saw so many people, we don't know who they are. Nobody told us who they are. You heard the judge said so too. So they just dumped, like my Lene brother said, they dumped everything on the court. I think this has put an end to the political hula baloo in Rivers State. And I think it's good for all of us. So in other words, defect anywhere. That's the position.
Thank you very much.
They didn't defect anywhere. We saw the first video. They didn't tell us who he was. We saw the second video of people. They didn't tell us who they are. Maybe you saw the people. At least I show you the video, Sabi. That is the mockery of judiciary in that contraption. And those are the guys who now went to court to say Kubarao did not submit the 2024 budget to them, and therefore the courts should order the Central Bank of Nigeria to stop giving allocation to the government of Rivers State. And the judge ruled, a judge in Nigeria ruled, that all the allocations of Rivers State allocation, 13% derivation formula, local government allocations, all of them must not be paid to Rivers State. Really? I'm actually waiting for them to do it, even though people have said that they will not dare. They're not bond them where they can't. Because there's already a Supreme Court judgment on that kind of matter. You know, the same way the federal government is an arm of government, and you have other arm of government, states and local governments. So you cannot, one arm can't hold the resource, the allocation of the other. It's illegal. I really want them to, because what is legal, what is illegal? With APC, they're always above their law. So I really, really want them to stop that their allocation, so that we will just find out something, So we just, we have received the report as well that, remember that after the Niger Republic coup, the junta gave France and the US, gave them, I think it was 100 days, 3 months, to remove their bases from their region, from the Sahel. And then America decided to use, France, they decided to use Nigeria to invade Niger Republic, so that they will remove the junta, reinstate Bazoum. In 2016, when Donald Trump became the president of America, right? Within a month or two, he withdrew the American forces from the Sahel, from Niger. And as what the Democrats at the time called the they had a word for it. I think they called it the decline in America's foreign policy, that Donald Trump endangered Americans by closing some bases, American bases abroad, and withdrawing their forces back to America. You remember? So immediately, Donald Trump was kicked out in 2021 after the 2020 election. By 2021, the fourth day of Joe Biden as president of America, he returned those forces back to Africa. He returned them back to the Sahel. Mind you, majority of these Sahel countries who have had these American, Belgian, French forces in these regions, they've continued to tell us that the interest of the people in that axis is not the paramount responsibility of these forces. How could you have American base, French base in the Sahel, and yet the entire axis, the entire corridor is riddled with different kinds of terrorists? How? Me, I ask myself, and I bet a lot of people are asking themselves, I mean, Americans have all the resources, right? Their job is to make sure that terrorists from Africa, from Arab world, do not have the power to go and attack America, Abi. That means they have to do everything to help us neutralize terrorists. But you know, the presence of Americans, the presence of French forces in Africa, in this West Africa, is not to keep us safe. In fact, it is to continue to further supply weapons to these terrorists. And then they can guide critical infrastructures like oil pipelines or mining fields, or no, that's not the word. You know, these places that they are like mining resources in Africa, in this part of Africa. They will protect all the American and French companies that are extracting these resources in this part. They don't have anything, they don't care about the terrorists or the safety. I mean, they don't care about the safety of us. The terrorists were moving up and down, carrying American and French weapons, carrying out different attacks, ransacking villages, killing people, including in Nigeria. So what is the essence of American presence in this axis then, or in this corridor? Well, I heard that Donald Trump has said that on day one, because they are supposed to have removed them since that time that Niger, do you know that they haven't still removed them? Rather, there is this woman, I can't remember her name, she was going up and down. She was in Nigeria. She went to Niger to meet these guys, tried to renegotiate that they should leave the bases, they should leave Africa. I mean, Americans, they said, no, we don't want you here. They still haven't removed them. They haven't. Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso, Mali, and all these guys, they wanted African and the French bases to move away from their corridors. But no, they won't remove them. Now, I've received the news that, Donald has announced that from day one, when he gets sworn in on the 20th of January, 2025, we will begin the removal of all the American forces in these bases, especially the one in Niger Republic, will be removed from day one. You know, that is that. Macron and others are still working day and night to see how to get the terrorists to overrun these countries. But because Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, they have now teamed together after withdrawing from ECOWAS, what have you, and the African Union. Now they have formed their own bloc, economic bloc and defense security bloc. They are suffering a lot of casualties because the terrorists are now receiving even more weapons from these Western countries. And they've lost a lot of their soldiers too in the fight against this terror. Since Nigeria wouldn't go ahead and fight the war for them. So they have other people who are willing and ready. But because these guys have built a security sort of a block, they have been defending themselves by themselves so far. So maybe Donald Trump's emergence will probably be a good thing after all, because there is a chance. I've said this before. I said, when you go to the American bases in this place, right, they have drones. They have drones that they could wipe out all these terrorists. But the terrorists are always there. I mean, Americans have drones that watches them as the terrorists are moving in convoy, you know, driving through the old desert and all of that. Americans have these drones that watches them. But their own is that as long as they are not touching the pipelines that are taking crude oil from Africa, they don't have any problem with them. So any regime that is not welcoming them, the terrorists can go and cause havoc and wreak havoc in their countries. They don't care. So maybe it's going to be a good thing for them after all. I'm just saying. I don't know. Because if Americans can protect us from these terrorists, despite having all the, they have all the resources to do that. They could head off these terrorists, but rather the terrorists have become stronger. They are crossing and, crossing into Nigeria, kill people, kidnap people, wars out as well. There is no benefit to us having them there. Even though they are now pushing to move the base to Nigeria. And we believe that Tinubu will gladly allow them to do it, if they can guarantee him that he will be spared from any consequences of maybe killing people to keep himself in power. There's so much going on. Geopolitics is called. Geopolitics. I'm talking about politics. It's this guy who is a member of Oyo State House of Assembly, right? So he went to court and he said God told him that he should go and contest for Senate because that's his next mission. It's quite funny though.
Iwájú ni mò ń lọ bó ó ti ń sọ fún pé Fẹ́mi máa múra sínétọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kò tí ì sọ jáde lẹ́nu mi ó wúwo bí òkè sọ́run ni bó iṣẹ́ ìbò tí wọ́n ṣe nìyẹn ó dàbí òkè sí ọ̀run ni tí o bá sọ àwọn àbórí ẹ ti ń yí ni ìwọ sí bo sínétọ̀ ń bàdàn bọ́ ọlọ́run nìyẹn bọ́ lẹ́nìí màá wá sọ gift bí fún sínétọ̀ yẹn fọlọ́run ìdí ìyàkọ́ sùn ẹ̀ bàbá wọ́n ní 3 million àbí 10% yẹ 300,000 ma follow me sin 3 million need yẹn actually what I need ó jẹ́ 3 million ma follow me 300,000 báyìí mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sóyìn nìyẹn o fún Ọlọ́run torí pé tí mo lọ yẹn agbára mi ò ká Ọlọ́run ló lè ṣe èmi náà máa go extra mile fún kó lè ràn mí lọ́wọ́ débẹ̀ so una ti gbọ́ ibi mi this is the first place I will say it out publicly pé God said I should prepare for Senate ó dàbí ọ̀run sáyé ni fún mi bí ọ̀run sí ayé láì sí Ọlọ́run mi tó bẹ́ẹ̀ mẹ́wàá mi ò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n fún Ọlọ́run gbogbo ní ṣíṣe ìwọ̀n lẹ́sìn gbọ́n yẹn o èmi náà ti gbọ́ ètò ìrìn báyìí torí tí o bá ń lo òkè.
Nuisance lele.
Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba, okay? That guy was saying that God told him that he should go and vie for Senate and become a senator in 2027. He is currently a state lawmaker in Oyo State. And therefore, he believes that it's only God that can do it for him. And he has started sowing that the church needs 3 million naira. So he will give the church 300,000 naira, which is 10% of what the church needs as his own. And he will continue to sow the seed because he believes that it's only God that will make him a senator. Because it's not easy to jump from his House of Assembly to go and become a senator in Abuja. It's like Thomas so high. But he believes that if he gives God money, God will do it. It's only God that can do it. So he has started sowing the seed. Well, I mean, when was that day we were talking about Nigerians and believing that when they pay tithes, it's not because they are religious. So if Nigerians pay tithes or they pay offering, they expect something in return. No? That they believe that the more they give God, the more God will reward them. So it is not nothing for nothing. No. Here you get now. So no Nigerian, I mean, they don't believe in any religious, whatever it is. So to them, if I pay God this money, he has to, if I give God 1 million naira, he should be able to buy me a 100 million naira car. That is their own. With faith, you sow the seed. You sow seed with faith so that God can, it's like gambling. It's like gambling. You know? And that is why they take offense if you talk about their pulpit bandits, their pastorpreneurs. Don't talk like that. No, they easily will tell you that God can destroy you. Their God always destroy people to prove that he's so powerful. So they are not religious people. They are pure mad people in that contraption. And that is why they get angry so easily. Because to them, if I give God money, God will will do me well. If I give God enough money now, God can make me governor. Okay? It is not nothing for nothing, something for something new. If I give God this, he has to give me something back. You know? They are, somebody said they are ritualists, so to say. I don't know. Anyway, that is us on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. I think we should take calls because I know some of you want to react to what we have said there so far. Yeah, it is your own prerogative. But taking calls means that we have to say a big shout. Oh, hang on, there is one more. See, I almost forgot that. In Ghana, their president, Akufo-Addo, who is also wrapping up his own time. This is Ghana's Bokwari, by the way, or Ghana's T-Pain. Another person that also thanked the economy of Ghana. The Ghanaians are dealing with their own dictator. So Nana decided to mold himself a statue. And that statue is to remember as his legacy of another disaster, African disaster in another African country. A supposedly prosperous African country that has now become bedeviled with poverty and economic ruin. Nana Akufo-Addo. So this is his legacy. Also, the Nigeria military, they have declared the following persons that you have on the screen wanted. These are the leaders of Lakurawa, the new terrorist group in northern Nigeria, in Sokoto, Abu Khadija, Abdul Rahman, Dadin Gumba, Usman Kanin Shehu, Abu Yusuf, I don't know this one's name, Ibrahim Suyeka, Basulu, Ati Idris. They have all been declared wanted by the Nigerian army as leaders of the new terrorist group that wants to enforce Sharia law on the rest of us in that contraption. They have been declared wanted by the army. So if you see them, they will give you money. So to our sponsor, Ya Rasulallah Digital, if you are looking for a business sort of alternative source of income that requires a special training where you can become your own boss, own your own business, right? All you have to do I mean, people are looking for financial freedom. When I say financial freedom, or financial freedom, where your current 9 to 5 is no longer enough. You have to work so hard, work 2-3 shifts, especially those of you who are not in Nigeria, so to say, right? So, and most of the time, right, we ended up having to almost working ourselves to death, right? And you want to try something new, that may be a chance for you, okay, where you can try something new that could give you more than just a financial freedom. Like I'm talking about 6 figures as well. It is not an MMM, it's not a pyramid scheme. You are not giving your money to somebody to go and make you money. No, you will do it yourself. You will be trained on how to do that. So to say, bring out your phone, scan this barcode to read more. Sign up. If you have that first $149 to kind of learn this, please check it out. And if you feel like it is not probably for you, and I'm saying this all the time as a caveat, so that you don't feel like, well, Maiyegun said, I will get 6 figures. No, you will do the work. Nobody's going to do it for you. So you get yourself, the opportunity to learn about digital marketing and other business opportunities in that regard, okay? So read more by scanning this barcode on your screen and follow it up. If you feel like it is not for you, all right, please, you have the chance of opting out. Opting out means you can cancel it. Cancel your sign up, your subscription, and get your money back, okay? Or if you become one of their, success stories, don't forget this temple, all right? Don't forget me. I will see you in another 1 minute or 2. So I'm going to go on a short break. So when I come back, we'll take calls. And if you have to go, remember, like the broadcast and share it. Subscribe to my channel as well. If you haven't, okay, I will be back. You speak in tongue. Thank you so much for still being there. To everybody that is staying back, okay? So the number to call is right there on this screen, on your screen, so to say. And let's see if it is working. Hopefully it is. Let's see. Yeah, hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello,
how
sir.
do you do?
I'm very well. How are you, sir?
Nice to talk to you again.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
I will say, I think your program is the smartest place everybody gets their dreams. And we're so fortunate to be, seriously.
Go on.
It's we're so lucky. We're so lucky to.
Thank you so much, man.
So actually, because every of your listeners, they have kind of very smart. They're because we get everything authentic. We don't get all this garbage and all of that.
I mean, it's easier to probe and very, very straightforward to either agree or disagree in such a way that it remains very healthy, right?
Exactly.
And you can be like,
because you don't even have to say anything. Just sit down and listen. You just realize when you hear people talk, you just figure out there's so much you don't know. And you get to pick up a lot from people while they talk. You know, couple what you say, you know. It's so I don't even know where to start from. It's just so much that so much that is in my head. I didn't
any one of them that comes to your mind. And you know, another thing about it is that you don't even really have to like speak on what is being said tonight. It may just be something that was like maybe yesterday, 2 days ago, or a few days ago that you're like, if I have a chance of calling in, I'm going to hear my view on that. That's one beautiful thing about it too, right?
And that's what I do. Most times I might probably might not call like for a month, like 3 weeks. So all those things, I just put them aside. And like, okay, whenever I call, I just speak on them.
I'm going to
I'll just speak on them. This morning, I really want to get in this morning. I was like, oh my God, I just could not. Too many people really want to talk, which is, you know, it's just so
depends. You know, one other thing is that, you see, sometimes I'll say a lot of things as usual, right? Different stuff and all that. But we will pick one. And from that, everybody will begin to react to that single one. Like when we're talking about Trump this, Trump that, America, like I was like, we spoke about other things, man. Let's talk about, you know. But it is what it is.
You know, if you remember what you said, look, everything revolves around America. America sneeze, we all catch the cold. And we can't just deny that. We can't deny that. And so many people called. I think I remember, was it Ahmed? I remember his name. Called this morning, he said he's supporting Trump. There's another guy that called, he said he's supporting Charade. You know, it was, you know, a mixed bag of so many interesting things they actually said.
Everyone feels like somehow, just, you know, whatever they believe in, they are free to hear it on this platform. It's not a one-way traffic.
And let me tell you, they are both right. Or whatever it is they believe, they are both right. Because you have to go and look at their policy. Look at Joe Biden's policy. Look at Trump's policy. I was looking at it like about a few days ago, like before the election, a day before the election, because I literally was thinking, okay, I probably might just vote for Kamala Harris. And I look at the policy. You can see people now telling you about LGBT, while we have a deal breaker for people. That's another crazy thing. So I think the Democrats were not actually too sensitive to what people really want. Michael, let me tell you, how will you come in and stop people from drilling? The Democrats actually withdrew licenses of people that had to drill the ground to get oil. It's just like Dangote stopping from, like, I'm not going to say Dangote, I can't even compare Dangote. It's just like people just like
it's almost similar. You know, it's almost similar as well, right?
That's exactly what I'm going
if Dangote is patronized, for example, you know, let's forget other vices, okay? If it's being patronized, it's a good thing for Nigeria. It will actually not only help the economy, help the Naira, it will create jobs. But look at these guys that prefers importation, creating jobs elsewhere. So it's almost similar.
Michael, do you know America? Do you know they export oil?
They do. Do you know Texas now, Papa? See, so when I was looking at Texas, you saw this refineries thing, refining or drilling. For Texas, it'd be like borehole.
Oh my God!
Like people drilling boreholes. That's what crude oil is like in Texas.
Michael, there's a particular area you go to in Texas.
Yeah.
They call it, is it Pasadena? Right. You probably might see up to 2,000 refineries.
And they like borehole.
Oh my God!
Refineries, drilling oil, go where they drill oil. It be like specing they drill borehole, like Nigeria.
Michael, guess what? You know you have families that just have boreholes in their compound. No, not even work there. They have borehole on their own land. All they need to do is you get the guys that do the borehole. They have their. You don't even have to because it's your land. You just need the license from the government. Get it from the government. Get the company that do the drilling. They're drilling. Whatever it is they get, you know, you go on percentage.
You get your share.
But it's not Nigeria. It's not like Nigeria where everybody just, you know, the politicians share the whole borehole. You know, if you have a borehole, if you have in Nigeria, if you have a rig in your if you even have like oil coming out from your land in Nigeria, the government will take that land from you. Yes, it's not like that. No. What you need to do is the government cannot take your land. All you need to do is get a oil company, get the license or get the permit, get the license. They have these people coming. They drill. They have your percentage. So, but where this is what I'm going to. This is where I'm actually going to.
Right.
The Democrats actually screwed up. They screwed up totally, because if you touch the energy, I'm talking about the petroleum price of Americans, they'll deal with you at the polls. If you touch anything that has to do with their petroleum, like anything they put in their car to move them back and forth, they will deal with you at the polls. Because if their gas goes up, the price of pump, what we buy at the pump goes up, it affects its period and
everything
actually
else.
affects
It is the same everywhere, Baba. Don't let
and that is why I'm going to
Russia,
Nigeria. That is
when Russia decided to turn off the oil supply to Europe, we suffered it, Baba. We suffered it here.
You're right.
No joke.
You are absolutely right.
So it's the same thing that is happening in Nigeria, where people are paying through their noses to buy fuel.
Yeah.
It affected everything else. Everything.
And now, you now look at Tinubu. Now they started. Now what they call it now? The subsidy on the petrol. I'm not even talking about the subsidy, but you have to now go ahead and touch what actually the engine room of the economy, which is what actually drives the economy. You know, it is the petroleum, it is the diesel, it is the gas, and you went ahead and touched it. Nothing will happen. Everything will be. It's going to stall the economy. At the moment now, the country is stalled because nothing is moving.
No.
Now they're actually nosediving. There's nothing happening in Nigeria. No. But that is that about Nigeria. But that is what actually happened to the what they call Democrats
in America.
And all of that.
Yeah.
The Trump people too. They are not so clean. They are not like they are saying.
They are not perfect.
But in a way, Trump actually knows what people want. People want low taxes. Nobody wants high taxes. People they don't want to work, and you're taxing them like almost about 40% of their money. They don't want that. I'm not saying tax is bad. Tax is good. And in 1960, in the 60s, you know how much taxes Americans were paying? They were paying 79%. Wow. Almost all their money is what they are paying. Yeah, back in the 60s. But you know what actually happened then? What they actually used that money to do? Now they open schools. They have all the, these great minds. You're seeing like people like John F. Kennedy. You're seeing, in fact, the same thing. That is where you actually have these great, what do I want to say now? Like these great institutions where you have great minds coming out from. This is what they actually use this money to do. But
institutions that were to
this
actually
time around,
what America is.
Exactly. But this time around, now you start raising their taxes. The rich in America, they don't want tax. They want you to bring down their tax to where they don't want to pay anything. Let me don't lie to you. I pay taxes. I pay my taxes even more than what Trump is paying. He's a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire, but I pay more tax than him.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But I don't have a problem with that. If they don't want to pay their taxes, but at least whatever it is he's saying to the people, it works. They like his policy, which is okay. I don't see anything wrong with that. But with the Democrats, it's their problem. I think they're licking their wounds. And they've made a lot of mistakes, and it's up to them.
They are more interested about the environment and all of that.
Tell me, the most important thing I really want to.
These are not things that people really. It's complicated, right? Or maybe not that complicated anymore because people knew what they wanted.
You're right. So, Maiyegun, I don't want to skip this very important issue. I want to talk about Nnamdi Kanu.
Please.
Look. Sometimes. If there's anything, people we all have pride, you understand? Now we have to start lowering our guard. Now we have Trump, right? I don't know if there's any millionaire or any billionaire that actually listens to your program. I don't know if there's any of them that listen to your program and supports Trump. Now I'm talking about lobbying. You said something about Elon Musk this morning. You know he supports Trump, right?
And like never before.
One reason why he supports
he threw everything at it.
One reason why he supports Trump was because one of his child used to be a girl. No, is he a boy or a girl? I think he's a boy.
He's a boy.
He now
turned to a girl.
He's a boy, right?
Yeah.
Now turned to a girl. One reason why he actually said, no, this is stupid. This Democrat are actually trying to kill our kids, But this is what I'm saying. He's trying to use his money to actually influence something. I don't know if you get what I'm talking about.
I do.
So
absolutely.
We have to probably maybe it has to be us. We have to look for people that actually close to Trump that has to weigh in on this matter of Nnamdi Kanu. People that I don't know how we're going. Maybe we have to speak to his spiritual father, Paula White. I don't know if you know her. This lady that actually, I don't know if you know Paula White. She is a spiritual mother. I don't know.
So
Maybe we have to look for people that is that is close to him that can actually speak on this guy's behalf, because this guy cannot. They can't keep holding that guy in that crazy contraption. It will be horrible to keep that guy. He can't keep staying there. Because it's most likely if we just keep quiet and we say, okay, let Trump do his thing. We have to find people that are close to this guy that could speak on his and lay his case and say, look, this guy has done nothing. This guy has done nothing. But probably we have to look.
They are trying to look for what to actually hang him with, and they still couldn't get anything to stick.
So maybe we have to look for people that actually in America that are probably very rich, and tell them, look,
IPOB have this lobbyist, group. I remember when Nnamdi Kanu was still out there, like, when Nigeria was trying to, when Bukwari was trying to proscribe them and call them terrorist group, and they were in Washington, right, to make sure that America support the idea. But it didn't work because right there in the same Washington, they had this their own lobbyist page. And I remember when they released the details, that broke the heart of Bukwari and gang that IPOB was able to pay over $1.6 million to lobbyists to ensure that proscribing them as terrorist group, right, never get to the Capitol in America. And that is why they were so mad. It's only in Nigeria that they call them a terrorist group. The rest of the world never proscribed IPOB as a terror group. That's why all of them could actually really operate. Sure, you get now and still carry out their activities and flags everywhere. So you are right. Let's assume that we've put this out there and see how it plays out.
So you're so right. So I don't know. We have to look for people that are so close to him or somewhat close to him. We can actually lay our case and tell him, look, this is what is going on.
Is a prisoner of conscience. That's what.
Of course, because Democrat will never listen. In fact, I actually wanted voting for them, but along the line, just like, what have I gained under these guys? But don't get me wrong, they did great stuff. Joe Biden did a lot of stuff. We're talking about insulin. Insulin used to be like almost $500 per vial, just a little vial.
I know.
Now it's $35.
That's massive.
So that's why I'm saying, if you look at their policy, it's like for the people, but they just went over the board. I'm sorry I'm taking so much time. People are really have to call in. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
God bless you. Take it easy, man. Okay, and stay safe as well. Bye. Nice one. So that's a brilliant one. You see, like I did say, and I'll keep saying, when you see people who are in America, living in America, their election means something different to them. Some will tell you it's about economy. Some will tell you it's about a personality. And I am not in a position to actually be any judge of that. Sure, you get. But for those of us who are outside America, who kind of sees what their foreign policies have been all about, especially to us in Africa, where we come from, right? So our reaction is always going to be different from those who are living inside Africa. But it's actually a two-way thing too. For those who are like from Africa, from Nigeria, from all these places, and they're also living in America as Americans. So it's all kind of like shade of complication, so to say. Well, here is another caller. Alhaji Wahab, is that you, sir?
Maiyegun, good evening, my brother. How are you, sir?
I am very well, oh. How are you, sir?
Yeah, first of all, let me congratulate you about your milestone yesterday. 100,000, keep going. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I'll be having something. Your show, what you talk in the afternoon, in the night, as another pace, everything just coming back. Let me just give the last caller one answer. One answer.
Yes, sir.
Caller, if you are still listening, the lobby people, they don't care about me and you. But the government of that America or UK, they care about people coming out to come and shame these people there. How much do you have to pay a lobby? You don't have the money. Those people, Tinubu people, they have papers. Free paper. Let's put that one apart. And that's not why I called.
Agendas,
I called
right?
about what happened this afternoon. Wallahi Azim, I'm a Muslim the day I was born. May Allah make me money the day I will die. But they will not take Nigeria on the oath that they have to Islamize everybody. It doesn't work that way in Islam. If Sokoto, Sokoto, whatever, Sultana Sokoto is still living today, if he's still living tonight, if they don't release that woman tonight, which means they too, they are not practicing Islam. They are just bunch of hypocrites. The vice president, the Sultana Sokoto, every malam in the Sokoto area, the lady Ahmed said they kidnap or they hold, they have to release that lady because the lady didn't do anything.
No.
He just accused them of, if that is your sister, what will you do? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used the same term. Everybody used the same term. We are Muslim. It doesn't mean we should be putting this in our head that we should scare everybody else. We are scaring ourselves. We are going to be punishing in the grave for all these things too. But this caller this afternoon, the Fulani terrorists, whatever they call them, how many are they? How many are those people? 5,000? How many is the population of Sokoto? 10 million. Are we all cowards in Nigeria? Do we have a president? Do we have a sitting government in Sokoto and the rest of Nigeria? Tell them, like what you said this afternoon, tell them to bring it on. Let's just fight this thing one day. But they can't do that. Maiyegun, they can't do that because the people who are gaining from this thing, they won't allow this thing to finish that way.
No.
The people in Sokoto, all of them, Roof, all of them, they are benefiting from this. How will you bring somebody from another planet to come and kill somebody in Nigeria and you tell me you love Nigeria, that you are Muslim?
No. No.
You see Allah Akbar for what? They don't know what they are practicing.
You see the vulnerable people, women and children. There's a special place in both religion for women and children. They said they must be protected. Now, if you are coming to say you want to do Sharia, and inside that same Sharia, sir, the vulnerables, the women and children are meant to be protected.
And you too, you are violating Sharia.
You are already violating
so what
Sharia.
Sharia
Exactly, that's what I said.
What is Sharia you are talking about? So the Sharia they're talking about is have nothing to do with Islam. When people are saying these people are Muslim, they are Muslim. No, they are not. They don't know anything about Islam either. Me, I'm talking to our Omole Keule. Me, I don't know anything. We are the Islam told us in more than 132 times in the Quran, seek knowledge, seek knowledge, seek knowledge, seek knowledge. So what are they talking about? So we are not talking about Islam in this aspect. These people, they are just a gangster. They're just another gangster, another terrorist. We'll call them whatever they call.
Somebody also said, what somebody once told me, sir. They said that if you look at some of these terrorist guys, some of them can't even read a chapter in the Quran.
Brother, you say, people always say we have a Muslim and Muslim ticket. It's not good to put another brother out like that. Give the Quran to the vice president and the president. Tell them to read Surah to Baqarah. Or if they just want to hear them, tell them to read the last chapter of the Surah or last 10 surah of the Quran. Just give them the Quran. All those kinds Muslim ticket we are talking. We don't know what we are talking about. You are just making mockery about people like me, about all the Muslims standing up. And the only one thing, there is no Muslim scholar in Nigeria. As for me, if they can't stand up and talk about this thing, anytime they hear about it, they are cowards. Because that lady they hold, that's what they call jihad. That lady stand up for his own jihad and say what you are doing. If it is you, is pointing finger. That lady is a real jihadist. We all are a bunch of hypocrites. We are a bunch of cowards. If Sultana of Sokoto is still alive today, if they don't release that lady tonight, that woman, Sultana of Sokoto, listen to me, you are going to hellfire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask you on the day of Kiyamo, what do you do about this matter? Period. It's not about that. But at the same time, I'm going to finish up. You know, for the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to call. let me tell you something. You see all those boys, they hold them in court, they faint, all those things.
Those children.
I have a faith. I have a belief. The Dondana, they will stand up one day. They will start the uprising. And this lady today is show something is boiling over there too. The people can't hold it anymore. So if you're talking about Nnamdi Kanu, they hold Nnamdi Kanu, they don't hold Nnamdi Kanu. Una, start packing your bag. Sit at home. It's working. It's going to work. It's going to benefit for you. That's what you need. All this lamenting, they hold my man. I pity Nnamdi Kanu too. It's not supposed to be there. But people have to stand up home and abroad before this thing can figure up. If you say, oh, we the gentleman, I know what, nah, you still crying. We are just playing ourselves. Maiyegun, thank you for your show, though. I always listen almost every night.
You have a
thank
good
you, sir.
Man. Good night.
Everybody that contribute too. I like all your contribution, though. Nice one.
You. Stay safe, Baba. You have a good one, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's Alhaji Wahab from London. There, hang on. Let me keep this our line pretty much more open. Here is Prince Adebayo from Sweden. Is that
my
you?
King. Yes, my king. Good evening.
The Prince. How are you, sir?
My king. I'm good, oh, Baba. I'm good. First of all, let me thank you. Let me thank you for everything you've been doing. Let me thank you for a wonderful program. I mean, this program has become our daily diet. Morning and afternoon and night. We're just watching and rewatching, keeps us going. Baba, today I stumbled onto a video. I don't know if you saw it. That boat driver that Honorable Ekweche slapped and beat. Do you know that the guy has gone to apologize to the Honorable?
I just saw the flash. I wanted to actually watch it. I saw the flash earlier. So they made a video.
Yes. I saw the full video now. I just sent it to you. Maybe you check your WhatsApp. That this country is becoming something else.
It's unbelievable.
This country is becoming something else. Somebody violated. I mean, what can we do in this country? What can we now do? After a very dark black man has come out.
You remember what we said about fighting for Nigerians? Now only stupid, foolish person, they say they fight for Nigerians. You can't fight for them.
This guy has evidence to put this guy in so that they will learn. A country where they don't do anything for you and they still slap you on top. Oh my God, Baba, I've been watching your program. Everything you said today, I don't know what to start. I don't know where to start from. The country is upside down. The people are just hopeless. At the same time, they cannot stand up for themselves. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start from. I don't know where to start.
I can tell that the moment you saw that video or you got through it, you are like, probably you became like enraged, then at the same time deflated. Like,
I mean,
anybody can really win anymore.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I can feel you.
What can they now do to these people for them to understand that it is finished? Even as I'm seeing it now, they will still come with another promise in 2027, and these people will see for it. Because if they slap, I mean, when I hear the slap, that it's like a slap blow. Because when that guy hits this driver, what I hear was doom on the. It's like this guy almost wanted to kill this driver.
And now he punched him on the chest, like in his chest.
Yeah.
So that if it was the wrong time, he could actually fall down there and even die, lose consciousness.
Yes.
I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yes, it's this kind of thing, this kind of thing that is happening in that country. I don't know where it will touch Nigerians, whether Nigerians they don't realize that they are human beings. Because these people now, they have not taken over everything. They are still asking us to bring money to put into missionary so that their banks will be using to do business. Which business is there to do? Which business is there to do in that place? To buy a business, your money will just finish. It will never, you will never rise in that. That's the truth. You will never rise because immediately you make small profits, you now discover that naira is 2,000 to $1. You have lost it.
Valued more.
Yes, you have lost it again. If you import anything, who can buy it? If you manufacture, which light are you going to use? Which electricity are you going to use? Where will you how will you transport the goods from village to city? Before you get there, you have just transported your own product. Nobody will buy it.
Because
who
people
want to
don't have
buy
purchasing power anymore. That's
no
the issue.
purchasing power?
They've reduced their purchasing power. They have reduced their capability of buying. Baba,
They have killed the purchasing power.
in Nigeria, people don't get money to go and watch movies for cinema. There's no money.
Baba, Nigeria is not among anymore because even companies, worldwide companies that are everywhere are not in Nigeria because Nigeria is too cheap for them to come. You cannot use PayPal in Nigeria. You can't use PayPal. All these payment systems you cannot use in Nigeria.
That they've rigged the whole place against you.
We are the platform. We are not on the platform. You understand? For you to be on the platform, you need to rise to a certain level. That means the infrastructure has to be there. You don't have infrastructure yet. These same people can slap you. Yet, these people, they are devising tax. They are devising a new tax regime for you, and you are there. No internet, no electricity. They are bringing tax, and you are there, and you will still accept it. One day, people will start eating themselves because even they cannot even go. They cannot even. What is there to do again? One day they will start cutting their hand to eat, and when after that one they will cut the leg to eat because you can't hustle. Baba, where you all hustle for where for that?
It is like disappointing. It is exhausting. Not just disappointing. It is exhausting. When you sit down and think, Baba, you go begin to get this small migraine and be like, there's no way out for these people, man. Forget it.
Baba, Prince. I bet watch that video. That guy disappointed. Is a disappointment.
I can tell you're disappointed from your voice. I'm not disappointed though, but yeah, I'll watch it and probably bring it to everybody later. Thank you so much. I enjoy the rest of the evening. Okay. Nice one. My man is so angry, disappointed, and short of words. I am supposed to bring you the video, okay? But I'll go and watch it properly and I'll bring you later. You can't fight for Nigerians. Sometimes when I say things, some people who are hearing me for the first time, right? They think I'm too blunt. If I come and say Eluoshi, some will be like, hey, why are you going to say that? You should, instead of us to come together and then to find a way to fight. You and who they find way? You the craze? Most of these people that complain with you, they are not complaining because they hate some of these things. Some of them are complaining because they are not benefiting from it. If you see them complain about Nigerians, if you see them complain about corruption, don't think all of us hate corruption. No. Everybody they complain about corruption. You they believe say all of us be the same. You don't know. Many of them are complaining because they are not benefiting from the corruption. Let them give them a little bit of it. They will tell you your own too much. Your own self too much. Who send you? My friend, short of jaw. If now you go do what? They don't give them their own share be that. And you go on the one that say, we are supposed to be fighting the same. You and who? You and who? Are you a saint? Are you a saint? Are you different? Do you think you are better? I say, AK, Austin. What happened? What changed? My friend, get up from here. Every day you'll be shouting and shouting and shouting. Are you better than them? I say, voila, today. That's what I've told you. Don't come to my platform and say I'm a human rights fighter. Fight for who? I be where I'm a human rights fighter. Maiyegun, you are a journalist. You are supposed to be a journalist. Hello there. Air Force One, are you there?
Yes, I will do something real quick.
Okay.
Regards to the you see, Alaji come from London, right? Alaji, I don't remember. The man that, well, see, for the first time in my life, I traveled to the Middle East, sometimes around August, okay?
Right.
And I went to Dubai with my family. And I've never seen the man who is the king of Dubai before. So, but when I get to that country, I didn't even know unconsciously pray for that man.
Oh my God. Air Force One. That
yes, I was
really
praying for that man. Eh? Oh, can you hear me better now?
Well, that one was better. Hope it stays that way. Continue.
Okay. Okay, so I went there and I was like I said, I don't even know when. Unconsciously, I started praying for that man. Yeah. And this is why my sister-in-law lives over there. I was saying to her husband,
no, that line is not lining at all.
Hello?
Yeah, are you using earpiece or something? Because sometimes they can be the messy one. It keeps going back up.
Let me see.
Really grab what you're saying. Oh.
Okay, guys.
It is that bad.
Hello?
Let's try it again, okay? Let's try it again. Air Force One. I have another person on the line. Oh, hello.
God bless you, sir. Well, this, yeah, thank you very much for everything you have been doing. This is Scott from Canada.
Bless you, Baba. Say that again, Joe.
Scott.
That's Scott from Canada. God bless you, Baba. So you are live. Everybody can hear you. Please.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean the U.S. election one is it's a big lesson for Nigeria because the media, the social media actually won the war
against the legacy media.
Yes, the social media had won that election, and Trump too. I mean, the endorsement from Joe Rogan. Within 4 hours of the podcast from Joe Rogan alone, got over 20 million views, and the same thing can apply to
got
Nigeria.
over 40 million at the end of the day. Yeah,
at the end of the day, because the things have changed now. The world has changed. We don't. It's not the era of the newspaper, channel.
The spinners who always spin stories.
Exactly, because the way Nigeria is right now, I used to think that my plan 7 years ago was I will retire in Nigeria. Nigeria is the place I will retire to. But I can tell you that as today, for me, I know a lot of people
are no longer thinking that anymore.
No, because the only reason I can survive in Nigeria now is to have escort police guarding my house or or providing security for myself. Because what other way do I want to? I can't rely on dogs to keep me safe. You know, I can't be going out to events and parties with dogs. You know, so it's not about the money. It's even about the peace of mind.
Safety now.
That because it's not about the money. So a lot of people don't understand where the state of Nigeria, where Nigeria is right now, and where it will be in the next 10 years or 15 years from now. And I was checking a year ago. I was checking with a friend. Nigeria's population was just like 220 million. If you type it on Google now, what's Nigeria population? It's 236 million population right now. And we've not even started the conversation of, okay, how do we move forward? You know, if we want to move forward, you need to first have a conversation of how do we move forward? You know, before we now start the planning. You know, because by the time we start planning, it will possibly take over 30 years to get to where to get to where not a fast developing.
We can have a little bit of a balance, you know.
A balance. You understand? So it's a big win for me. I think it's a big win for Africa because this is the only time. The next 4 years is a time for all agitators, you know, everybody to come together to fight to win this war because we all have the same common enemy. You know, just less than 1,000 people cannot be holding a population of 236 million hostage.
You get?
You know, and the media is powerful. The people you just need to make sure people come out to vote. People come out to vote.
They did.
Yes, because I'm dual citizen. I vote in the US, and I was still the guy. You don't vote. You don't go vote. You know, that was really just because we need. It is difficult to rig election when people come out to vote.
That's right.
When more people come out to vote. So if INEC open there, because the way it is now, nobody has control over another electoral process. It's still INEC. You know, once they open up the portal to register for registration now, everybody should go and register. Everybody go and register. Because the only way to win these guys in this era that we are in right now
is to get more people out.
More people. It's the voice. But if you follow this election, you know that it's the voice of the people. It's just the voice of the people. A lot. Twitter, when Elon Musk bought Twitter was overpriced, was way overpriced. But Twitter was the only platform that had
this time in 2020, they've already almost they are the verge of deplatforming the president of America, and they go away with that.
But if Trump had lost this election, people don't understand how deep. I think it's good for
freedom of speech will probably be dead or gone with it as well.
Everybody should get involved in politics. You should get involved. Don't go and sit down and be doing one prayer vigil, night vigil. You can do your night vigil, but get involved in politics. This is not the era to listen to channels, Arise TV,
Arise,
you know,
AIT,
you know.
Thank you so much. Let me take another one because of our time.
You know, thank you very much. God
bless you, man. Bless you so much. Okay, you stay safe too. That's Scotland I said Scotland from Canada. I wanted to say Scotland from, no, that's Scott from Canada. I don't know what happened to our line. The line keeps kind of being so funny. I was struggling to hear him as well. Okay. So here is Hamid. Hamid, how are you?
Maiyegun Baba.
Oh, this one is clearer a bit. How you doing, Baba?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I want to add more to what this person is saying.
Okay.
When he was talking about everybody getting involved. I mean, election in Nigeria, we know that election in Nigeria is already rigged. Even before you even go for the election, it's already rigged. Before you cast the ballot, is already rigged. But one way or the other, I am picking something. But guess what? Whatever you want to put up in that country, the criminals always find their way out. And, you know, we also joining up with them is like we are also giving them that, we are helping them to buy more time. If not, what I'm trying to say is Tabani, let's get involved, let everybody go and register this, put it on social media everywhere. At least we've seen what the Obedient did. The Obedient tried their best. They did what they did, but guess what? They still rigged it. They still messed everything up.
And the judiciary legitimized it.
And the judiciary, that is it. So that alone can discourage you from even wanting to put your energy, whatever, all those kind of things in it. That alone can stop. It can discourage you. So election in Nigeria, I don't think is the way out. One way or the other.
Don't get too motivated because you saw what happened in America. America is not Nigeria. We all need to be
exactly. Nigeria, as for your eye, you they look and they go do you abracadabra. The more you see, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see.
Nigeria is a place where you go to see black. And everybody there go to say na red. You can't be red. I mean, they mad, you need. They are don't mad. Help me, help me.
Exactly.
So you get
exactly.
But people they cancel election. They say so they cancel election in a polling unit and the other places. And as they come on social media, they see result of their polling unit for social media. They say, we no vote. Oh. They say they will continue the vote tomorrow. I don't announce result for them already.
Maiyegun, where you dey? Person will contest for Edo State election. We be saying contest, and then they give him 0 votes. That means no matter what, he go get family will vote him down. I think himself go vote himself. You understand? But they give us 0 votes. Where his own vote go? Go say in family self no like him. Where in own 1 vote? Where he go?
The guy went from to contest governorship.
So election in Nigeria cannot work. Let's just be straightforward with ourselves.
Let us get carried away because of this Elon Musk and Donald Trump and America.
If you see what Elon Musk did, they used the power of media and it worked out for them. Elon Musk gambled and in gamble pay him.
You get
how many billionaire on a get with the gamble because they feel like they are doing what they are doing. What Elon Musk is doing, it's not as if Elon Musk, whatever, everybody can have their own idea, or you can have whatever you have in mind. And because of they say they won't make money, which money Elon Musk never make. But I feel there is something they want to bring for the people, and they feel if we are not in government, we might not be able to achieve this. I think I should support this person, giving my full support with my full chest. Waiting go happen, make it happen. But I go support them so that make we come government, make we do what we want to do for the people. So that is why I felt Elon Musk gave everything he had into this election. And
so
it
much
paid out.
The evidence day, we don't need to guess. Number one, this issue of transgender this and that, right, which affected his own son. The second one in California, they have like about 40 court cases, judgment against his businesses. They have to start moving the business out of California to other places in America. And it felt like if these guys are always treating their supposed opposition like this, it's just going to be a matter of time before they will come for you who are billionaires and all that. So it went on. That's part of the reason why it went all out for Donald Trump.
And Maiyegun, you see, there is one thing. I think if people haven't experienced some things in this life, maybe sometimes they will not understand how all these things works. I happen to pull my my 2 daughters out from school. They are homeschooling right now because there was when you all guys this kind of attitude of say gender can relate because that thing it be like saying one begin touch and I quickly notice. I say, oh yeah, law school more. From home now you gonna go to school and I'm not go to the mingle with all these people again. And why? Is because of these people, this Kamala, this Obama, because Obama started all this madness. Donald Trump said, I only recognize two. Look, everybody can be what, if you are a man, you want to be a woman, you can be what you want to be. Now your own decision be that. But there is no way Where we say children
they
go
say don't
think.
bring our children into all of this.
Exactly. Go and do your thing. There is no way we wanna go. They want they give them that kind of right. Oh, the children they cannot drink alcohol until they are more than 18 or they are 21 or 20 or so, but they can choose the agenda at the age of what age? Iru madness one here. And one thing Donald Trump said that I respected was Donald Trump said he only recognizes two genders, the male and the female, which is right. Every right thinking human being will think the way Donald Trump was thinking. So me, I don't understand where all these people where they get their own.
Thank you.
It just shows that it just shows that Americans know what they are doing. That's why they brought back Donald Trump.
Anyway,
And
majority of you have spoken now. So
yeah, one more thing, Maiyegun. One more thing, Maiyegun. You see, as a soldier, people need to understand this. I'm talking as a soldier now. I've been to deployments and I've seen how things are doing over there. Maiyegun, if you see how much the United States are spending outside the country, you go open and say, waiting they happen now. This kind of money, America is losing money into all this nonsense everywhere where we say no to consign them. But if you come home, come see waiting they happen, you go see say people are out here looking for the money, but now they pull the money for another place. Waiting they shell a gun now, waiting they happen.
Even you as a soldier,
this war,
go to almost all continents.
Maiyegun, this war that broke out between Ukraine and Russia, if Donald Trump was still there, Donald Trump will still manage this thing. It will not be this way. Even though it will break out, it will not be this way. Donald Trump will manage it. But guess what? They were looking at Donald Trump, he's an ass licker, they fear Putin, all those nonsense with that lady they talk that time, say he's befriending Putin, he cannot make decision, all sort of nonsense. Decision that will cost you guys a lot of money, that like is costing people right now, costing you guys spending billions of dollars outside the country. Now madness now. Which kind of nonsense be that? So I don't understand what kind of emotional people are attaching to this nonsense, all this madness. I mean, you guys need to
have the right to always react. The one way they must me.
Exactly.
See, the one way they must be say when they say that Donald Trump will take all their rights. I was like, no, he won't. It doesn't even.
Why? Why would he do that?
Why would he do that? Even when the America, no say your second amendment is so powerful that the whole of America, the whole of America can turn against him if he attempted to change it. The whole, including those.
Maiyegun, second amendment, third
amendment. Anytime anybody tamper with them, it will automatically turn to the enemy of the people. You know now.
I swear to God, now wahala you won't cause.
So how could anybody in America not know that?
You won't talk, see, kinikon, remote leni.
Anyway, I'll leave it to it. Let me take another one. You stay safe, Dale. Take a So I have another caller now. Oh, I'm going. Is that Air Force One?
Yes, about me.
Well, you made it back.
Hello?
A quick one. Go for it.
I made it back. Yeah, quick. Yeah, so I just want to take all this religion thing that we do in Nigeria. I want to talk about Christianity and Islam. You know, like I was saying earlier, I went to Dubai for the first time, going to Middle East.
Right.
And I was so impressed. Very, very impressed. Like, I was praying for their king. I think they have king, right? Yeah, they don't have they have king.
They have
I was praying for that man.
King, Amir or something they do have.
You see, you know, imagine you being in a strange land and you are praying for that person you've never set your eyes on. You know? So I was now asking my sister-in-law husband.
They run the place.
Yes, Baba, if you there for metro, you know metro where people take train, whatever. They have waters in the fridge for public. They have oranges, fruits. You can get all you got just to pay. Put your money in fresh orange. Wow. Oh my blue. Yeah. I was praying for that man. Now I was asking my sister-in-law husband, is this Islamic country? The man said yes. I said, what kind of Islam do they practice here? They are practicing in Nigeria in comparison now. You know, that now dawned on me that even in Israel getting me this way, I will soon go to that one too. But I have read a lot of things about Israel, Israelites, and Israel in particular as a country, what they've done for themselves. Imagine Nigeria with all the big churches, with all these bishops and pastors, sheikh, our fast, and what else do they have over there? Emirs and sultans and all these crooks. Baba, okay, it just don't me like these people they've been deceiving me in particular, for place of 200 millions of Nigerians. I'm telling you.
I think religion in Nigeria is more of control. It's not really about humanity or service per se in all. If you check the way they run it there, it's mostly about control. What you should do and what you must not do. It's always about
what you must not do. Yeah, and when you also look at places like Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, all those places are so clear. And those are where the extremists that's where they are, including Iran, Syria. All these fanatics, that's where they are. They are so poor like torturers. I'm telling you, so what kind of Islam are they practicing there? Which kind are they doing in those parts of the world? And what kind of Islam are we doing in Nigeria that we are deceiving ourselves?
But they read anyway, they come from Borno. They talk on social media that Saudi Arabia, the type of Islam they practice in Saudi Arabia is not the real Islam. I was like, it was what the Borno. Simply because to them, they are not Islamic enough. I was like, but like you said, some of them are just fanatics who actually don't even know anything about Islam per se. Because you are right, maybe because countries, you will see that you'll be asking yourself, what kind of Islam are they practicing here, and what kind of the one are they practicing in Nigeria? Then you will see the difference.
Yes, almost. You know, I began to do research. I researched Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait. Man, those places are beautiful. Beautiful. So it also sort of I think their own Islam supposed to make them poor. You know?
Those thank you so much. For
Baba, thank you.
You stay safe anyway. Nice one. I have another caller. Hello there.
Yeah, Mr. General.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to have you again. It's over 3 to 4 years, Maiyegun. I'm being privileged to come on air again.
I was like, today, how are you?
Well, let me speak to the entire world through your media again, my brother. It's a very good opportunity. Yeah, I listened to the young man that called from Canada. I'm also calling from Canada.
Right.
From the productive city of Toronto.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, my brother. Yeah, let me speak to Nigeria. The young man that called from Canada, I want to correct one impression. You know, we black people, we have this problem. We think that we must resolve our problems like European. That is why we are still slaves till today. That's where we get it wrong, my brother. The young man that called you is telling you how Donald Trump won election through internet, how internet influenced his election. I supported Donald Trump, despite the fact that I'm not an American and I don't have the right to vote there, but I supported him. You know why?
Why?
Because of his foreign policy towards Nigeria. That's all. Fighting for the less privileged, stopping terrorism, and supporting freedom. He talked about Christians, the killing of Christians. These are my points for supporting him. Among the contestants, he's the only one that protects my interests. Now, let me go back to the young man.
Yep.
How, for many years, elections have been conducted in Nigeria. Maiyegun, can you be sincere and Nigerians be sincere to themselves? Is there any election in Nigeria that has not been rigged?
There is none. There is none. We just had a election. They are going to have Bondu election soon. And guess what? Everything that happened in the Edo election will be a child's play to what will happen in Ondo. And all of us will go back to default mode again and say, man, this place cannot be helped.
Thank you, my brother. There's a simple language in computer appreciation. Those of us that knows computer, when you start, they say that there's a simple language. You say garbage in, garbage out. Get me? The people that control your PVC are your so-called political leaders. The information they will give to you, if you like, go and gather, stay on the internet and make all the noise. It will land on their table. Remember before the election that came in, they told you that we were going to have what? Transmitter.
Yes. I read.
Brother,
I read and Rivers. Nobody can rig it. It's
brother,
it was time to now collect results. They turn them off.
Look at my own brother. I'm an Igbo man. My own brother, the so-called political criminal called Ojus Okalo, the slave appeasers. He said something after being a governor for 8 years in a state, a very productive state of Abia State. This same shameless idiot came to Senate and told you that some communities in his village doesn't have light, that they cannot walk to. These are people this young man in Canada is encouraging youths to go again and give their destiny for 4 years again. My brother, there comes a time in a man's life when you face the truth no matter what. Nigeria is not workable. It's not a sin if somebody say it. No matter how biased you people want to be or the Africans want to be, you can't solve your political. Yes, because when you speak, they always see that biased perspective. He's speaking because he's an Igbo man. He wants the division of Nigeria. Maiyegun, today you said how many people died in Kwara State or Katsina. I've forgotten where they fired how many people. Is there an internet that covered it?
No.
Why are we deceiving ourselves? How many communities in our place have access to internet for people to be able to influence those in the interior or remote area so that they will know what is happening? There's no internet there, for crying out loud. It baffles me when I see people that have traveled for years, being privileged to see what white Westerners have done to better their life, instead of thinking, how do we resolve our problem? The reason why we had privilege to come to overseas to learn is to know the basic things for us to do. We are not Westerners. Go back to Nigeria and let our problem is just two things: religion and tribalism. That is what kept it there. And if you want to be sincere to yourself, my brother, the only way to resolve that issue is two things. Come back together, decide that we are going to live equal as people. Without that, my brother, break the country and let everybody go. Stop romancing, patching. Stop romancing, patching, get PVC. By next year or 2017, 27. Pastors will begin to come. The Lord said he has remembered Nigeria. The type of those ones that are telling that are prophesying over election in America, why in their place they have been terrorized with guns and bullets. They will tell you to go and get PVC. By that time, it will not be PVC, it might be PYW. They'll give it another name. They'll give my brother, please.
You see, I said it before. I said, if anybody wants to participate in any election in Nigeria, it may not be a bad idea. But the first thing first, you first have to start with that fraudulent constitution. Now, write another one that actually really dictates how elections should be conducted and what will happen if people, you know what I mean? Like, including the courts, including the police, the road and everything, you know what I mean? So if they cannot do that, any election is just validation of another nonsense. It will be rigged before the first ballot is cast.
Okay. Let me also use opportunity to talk about the video you played about peoples in river, the so-called House of Assembly members. You heard where a lawyer, a refined so-called, you know, as they call themselves, legal whatever. Leonard, look at that one. Is that man Leonard? They think that it's all about speaking. They think it's all about speaking English language, just making noise, disgracing themselves. The world is watching all these things. They will look and say, is this a country? Is this a lawyer? We were told that the judiciary is the hope of a common man. My brother, is there any hope for common people in that place?
No chance.
With this type of, they call others charlatans. This man is they are the my brother, please let me allow that.
Thank you very much. You don't
thank you, General.
On top this matter.
Thank you, General.
Okay.
I appreciate you again, bro.
You have a good night yourself, okay?
Thank you, General. Thank you, Maiyegun. Thank you, bro.
I mean, there is no harm in trying when people insist that let's try and act. But sometimes we need to act right, okay? And don't get carried away. if you are living in any of this Western world, Nigeria is a place where logic is always stamped on its head. Whatever works anywhere else, the moment it arrives, the atmosphere of Nigeria, all right, it will automatically become abnormal. So that is why some of us believe that participating in the Charade election, right, is just a mere ritual of validation. The moment you participate, right, you do not have any right to now say you are against the results. That is why don't participate in the Charade until you are actually sure that you are part and parcel of those who put together the rules of the game. They are the ones who set the rules. They are the ones who will determine what the outcome will be. They can change the goalpost in the middle of the game, and they will tell you to go to court. So don't let us get too carried away with what we have seen out there, okay? Nigeria is a place where everything there defies logic. We have seen it happen many times. Election in that place is unreal, okay? But nevertheless, I love all your ideas, all your contributions from all over the globe where every one of you called in. Thank you so much for making the evening or the night pretty much interesting. All right, so we've come to the end of the broadcast tonight. And remember, the segment that we just finished is sponsored by the Ya Rasulallah Digital, helping out working people create successful business online. Okay, so they will teach you what it takes to own your own business in this regard, and then how to get others to possibly patronize you, and what you intend to, or how you intend to kind of make them do that. So if you want to check this out, remember, this could be the opportunity.